Hey everybody, welcome to the markparham podcast. You can follow me online by going to rumble.com/markparham and I should pop up. One of the things that I've been noticing online, on Twitter and things like that, and I say this as a Republican, but the Republicans are quick to, talk about Ukraine and, how much money we spend in Ukraine and all this stuff we're doing for the Ukraine. But if you notice when it comes to Israel, they almost get afraid. And it's just like America gives a lot of money to Israel, and I'm not comparing the two. I'm not comparing Israel to Ukraine, but it's just like when Ukraine comes up, there's this strong opinion. Oh well, we're spending too much money. We're doing this and we're doing that, and there's corruption. But then when the subject of Israel comes up, everybody gets scared to say something, and so it just goes to show you who controls the Republican Party. And a lot of these politicians in Washington, D.C. are controlled by AIPAC. And basically, they follow the marching orders of Benjamin Netanyahu. If he says jump, some of the Republicans say how high. And I'm not saying all the Republicans, but I just see what happens when, Israel and Ukraine are mentioned. You get two different responses. And it goes to show you that a lot of these politicians, they get money from the Jewish lobby and different organizations in Washington D.C. and around the country. And so basically they do whatever their masters tell them to do. And I think somebody I think it was what's his name, Tom Cotton, where he said, "Oh well, we need to put the National Guard on campuses to protect Jewish students and all this other stuff." And again, some of these Republicans are more worried about, protecting Israel and protecting Jews over, protecting or fixing our border. I mean, look at all of the people coming across our border that, we don't know if they're criminals. We don't know if they're whatever they are. But we have people pouring across the border. I think it's 7 million or 10 million so far. And you have some Republicans that will, slow walk on an issue like that. But when it comes to anything with Israel, it's like, well, man, we got to do something the next day. And I just see that, you hear a lot of people in the Republican Party talk about America first, but it's almost like a lot of folks a lot of Washington, D.C. Republicans are Israel first. You look at if Benjamin Netanyahu says something, it's almost like they listen to him more than they listen to Joe Biden. And I'm not even a fan of Joe Biden, but what I'm noticing with the Republican Party, you have a lot of Israel first politicians on the Republican side. You have a lot of, and I say this as a Republican, but you have a lot of people, that something or something's happening with a Jewish person in the United States, automatically the next day Republicans can respond to that. But if it's happening to another group, it's like, well, we got to look into it. We got to do a study. You notice they don't have to put out all these studies and do these think tanks and all this stuff when something happens to a Jewish person in America. Republicans immediately, take action. But if it's our border, if it's the economy, all of a sudden there's excuses. We got to study this. We got to look at that. And so it's sad, but it just goes to show you who controls the Republican Party. And again, if the Republicans were so about, saving money and fixing the economy and not spending all of our money all the time, maybe say to Israel, you know what, you have enough money that we've given you over the years. We're going to use some of our money to help American citizens. But I mean, in a blink of an eye, they passed an aid package for Israel, along with the Ukraine and other places. But I'm just talking about Israel right now. They can pass an aid package immediately and give Israel whatever they need, whatever they want. But at the same time, when Americans and veterans are asking for things, you have to do a study, and Congress has to check this out and see if this number is correct. And our Congress, the politicians in Washington, D.C., do things quicker for Israel than they do, homeless veterans. It's sort of sad, but you almost want to say this country is the United States of Israel, and instead of saying Joe Biden is the president, you almost want to say Benjamin Netanyahu is the president of the United States. That's That's what it seems like. So again, let me know how you feel about this subject in the comment section. As far as what I'm saying about Republicans, not all of them, but most of them right now being Israel first instead of America first. And like I said, if we don't get back to fixing America, then then we can't talk about these other countries because we'll be making the same mistakes that they did when they didn't handle their own issues. So we're at a point right now where Americans are stressed. There's high inflation, uh, crime in certain cities and stuff. We got to get back to fixing America and restoring the great country that we live in right now. So let me know how you feel about this issue in the comment section. Thank you.